Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. It's so great to have you here and hope you guys are doing well today. Thanks for tuning in literally from all around the world. We have our international audience. They're called the JMS Lovities. That is our Lovities squad, those who watch and support and enjoy what we're doing here. We've created an amazing community of folks who watch literally from all around the world. Now we broadcast from the United States. We're here in the New York area. That's right, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, along the southern New England coast, between New York and Boston. And we're here to entertain, inspire, bring positivity. We always learn something. We always have a cool time, and we always end up laughing. We always end up having so much fun on this show because you never know what happens when we're on. Every show is something different, unique, and we do it like an entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series, sort of that warm old school style of Regis and Dick Cavett and Carson and some of the greats with a modern twist and a modern vibe of today. So we welcome all of you. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're watching around the world. And I hope you are in the mood for some terrific entertainment. That's right, because we have Broadway star and off-Broadway star, actor, singer, songwriter, DC Anderson is joining us. Yes, live and direct from Northern New York, just north of the city, just north of Westchester. And also Dave Robison is joining us as well. Brilliant award-winning pianist as his accompanist. He's joining us as well, too. He's going to accompany DC as he tickles those ivories. There's going to be some fabulous music that's going to be happening for you guys. And we're going to be talking about a lot of cool things. So we invite and welcome to comment during the show as well. As we always say, we invite you to, leave a comment for us either on the channel itself, under all the episodes that you enjoy. Give this episode a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. We love that. And drop a comment if you have questions or you just, love what we're doing on the Jim Masters Show. Leave a comment underneath all the episodes. We love that. If this is your first time watching, we welcome you to kick back and relax and enjoy this program we have designed for you of great music and conversation and inspiration. Always cool times here at JMS Live. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel itself, our YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV, there's a red button you see there. Sort of, well, doesn't look like a button, does it? Looks more like a rectangular shape. Well, it's a very important rectangular shape because when you press that, that means you're part of the JMS Lovely Squad. You're part of our family. You believe in what our show is all about, which is great entertainment with guests from all around the world, Broadway, Hollywood, TV, music, food, sports, comedy, the whole bit. We say it all the time. Guests that come in from a myriad of different backgrounds, celebrity friends, and so much more. And we designed the show to put a smile on your face as well. So don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Really important. Click that notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes here on the show. Live episodes, specially prepared episodes, our host Lovity episodes, our holiday themed shows on location, and so much more. So you don't want to miss anything. So click the notification bell so you never miss. All right, now that we took care of all that housework, because we have new people that watch all the time, so they're not sure about, how does it work with subscribing. There's no cost for that. You just click that red button. But again, thanks for all the comments too, gang. You've been amazing on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, sharing the links on your social media, the YouTube episode links on your social media, sharing it so more people can watch it. When you do that, you're inviting more people to watch the shows and the series. You're also helping us grow as well. So thank you to those of you who have been posting and sharing. And thank you for all the beautiful private messages you've been sending, telling me over the last 2 years how much this show and this series really matters to you. I know we started it in the beginning of the pandemic, and many of you have asked, am I going to continue this? Because I work full-time in television and radio and stage and film. So I've got a very busy full-time schedule during the day. But, this has just grown into such a beautiful community and such a wonderful place to come. And I get excited, too, when I, turn on the lights and then here we are all together on the Jim Masters Show. So continue to spread the light, spread the sunshine, spread that levity, and tell everybody about our incredible entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. So, yes, DC is here. And no, he wasn't born in DC. We're so excited to have him here on the show. He really is amazing. And again, his accompanist, he's here too, David, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. If you're ready for music, gang, if you're ready for inspiring conversation, gang, you've come to the right place. He is a prolific actor, television, film, Broadway, off-Broadway, singer, songwriter. He's got a good heart. Look at now, come on. Look at that shot right there. Isn't that fantastic? We have he's got a lot of great music out too that he has created and penned. This is DC Anderson, Our Story. You may be familiar with his work, his music, and so much more, but if you're not, there's some really incredible music out there for the taking and for the asking. Yeah, we'll talk about all these as we go along here. Really cool stuff. Yeah, isn't that great? Don't you love the cover of that one? Absolutely. There's another. And there's David, his accompanist, is going to be joining us here on the show as well. And there is DC. So they are waiting in the wings. They're all excited. David is poised at the piano. And DC is ready to go. And let's welcome them graciously to join us here on the one and only Jim Masters Show. Great to have everybody here and great to have our guests joining us again from New York. Hey guys, welcome to the Jim Masters Show. How are you, DC and David?
We're good.
You're good.
We're good.
That's fantastic.
It's a great day.
Beautiful, isn't it? The sun is out, shining warm, and summer's getting closer and closer, which is a good thing. How have you guys been? You know, it's we're still coming out of that crazy time of the last couple of years, and we've all had to adjust. We've all had to come up with different ways of staying connected and creative. How have you both been doing that?
David, how about you in the pandemic? What have you been up to?
Oh, things are coming back kind of slowly from the pandemic. I was touring full time with the Broadway show Cats at the time that COVID came down, and so things are coming back. Things are coming back gradually, a little slowly, but things are coming back. So happy about that.
Touring with Cats, not too shabby. What's that like, huh?
What's that like?
Touring with Cats.
Oh, it's great. Wonderful cast, wonderful staff. Great to be part of that show.
Yeah, David's been involved with music of Andrew Lloyd Webber's music for years. You did Evita on the road.
Yeah.
You did Phantom of the Opera for.
I did Phantom of the Opera for many years actually. I was on the road as associate conductor for 16 years on the national tour of Phantom of the Opera, and also subbed with the Broadway company over a time. And I was also involved in productions in Stockholm, Sweden, and Oberhausen, Germany, with Phantom. And I also toured with the show Love Never Dies, which is the sequel to the Phantom of the Opera.
Which is the sequel as well. I had the pleasure of co-hosting for PBS the 25th anniversary Great Performances special celebrating the 25 years of Phantom of the Opera. And it was terrific. It was for their national celebratory Great Performances PBS special, 25 years of Phantom of the Opera. And we filmed at the Majestic Theater. And great. It was really nice. My co-host and I, Denise Richardson, my PBS co-host, what they did is they positioned us in the aisles of the theater when the theater wasn't open. And they had the cameras stationed in the aisles that were going up. So they were shooting down on us. And behind us was the stage. And the crew had lowered the big chandelier so it was perfectly behind us as we were chatting. And that was such a great special. That was the 25th anniversary of Phantom of the Opera. Now it's 30 plus, right?
Were we there? Was that the one we went to? When Cats gave because Cats had been the longest running up.
Yeah, that's correct.
Was that the 25th anniversary?
I don't recall if it's the 25th, but
because we came in from the road.
You know, after so many years, it all rolls together for David.
we were a part of that evening when Phantom overtook Cats as the longest running show on Broadway history. It was quite an exciting evening.
And we were on the road at the time, and so they brought us in and did a Monday night, which was our dark night. They did a Monday night, so we were all on stage for the Masquerade number, 2 casts. It was
Wow.
thrilling. It was absolutely thrilling.
Oh, it had to be, huh?
Mm.
What an
Yeah.
incredible, yeah, what an incredible background. And obviously, you've been doing this for a long time, David. This is something, some of these shows that you've been involved in have been incredible. They're legendary. And you studied also in Austria, huh? And in
I did,
France and
over
all
2
around the world,
different summers.
Switzerland.
I studied at the Mozarteum in Salzburg, Austria, over 2 different summers. Yeah. With
That's
my
incredible.
principal piano teacher was his name was Grant Johannesson. He was a great concert artist.
Incredible. And some of the shows, as you were mentioning, I just want to reiterate for the audience, your background as well: Phantom of the Opera, Vita, Love Never Dies, Cats, extraordinary background,
Done a number
Sweeney
of other shows.
Todd, Cabaret, Avenue Q, uh, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, like you say, Vita. It's extraordinary, and working with so many different orchestras and so much more. And then, of course, also in regional, Chorus Line, Brigadoon, Godspell, Jesus Christ Superstar, West Side Story, The Fantastics, Guys and Dolls, South Pacific, Shrek, Hairspray, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I mean, this is just the short list, just a short list. And then you, DC, your background's not too shabby either, as this possibility, positivity, gratitude aficionado, which is what we are here at the Jim Masters Show. As a wonderful actor and storyteller that you are, film, television, theater actor, songwriter, singer, photographer, and you've had incredible roles that you've played as well. Tell us about some of your incredible background. Of course, Phantom of the Opera as well, Broadway and national tour. And that's just the short list for you. Tell us about some of the other incredible productions you've had an opportunity to be a part of.
I was able to be a part of Schoenberg and Rublil's Martin Guerre on the road. It had opened in London and did well there. And then we were the North American tour. So I got to do that. And I know we were scheduled to come into New York. And then something happened. I don't know what it was, but I knew when we were in Los Angeles and the dumpsters showed up that we wouldn't be going into New York. But it is a wonderful show, and
When the dumpsters show up,
the dumpsters show up, that tour is done. And
there's a similar sort of thing in our industry in television and radio, and that's when if new owners come in and they buy the television station or network, or they buy the radio station, and then usually when the newspaper comes to ask them, okay, what are you going to do now with the stations, with the format, with the programming of the radio station or the TV station or the network? And they usually always say, we're not going to touch a thing. We're going to leave everything the way it is and everybody where they are. Usually when you hear that, start getting your resume ready, get your demo reel ready, and start packing your bags, because they're going to, one of the first things they do is to make change.
Yep.
And sometimes there's dumpsters too.
Yeah. It was such a beautiful show too. And like 3 months later, I saw David Caddick, who's the music supervisor on Phantom and on Martin Guerre, and I saw him on the street, and I said, David, I've got this idea. So the cast is still here in New York City. Let's get to like 54 Below. Let's go there and we'll do a concert version of Martin Guerre. And he's like, okay. I didn't want to let go. It was so beautiful, and the people were great. And then to have done Phantom as long as I did, we have the most, and it still continues to be the most wonderful production team and crew and people. And
you're Andre.
Yes, I got to play Andre, which one of the managers, and we sing Prima Donna. And one day I'm in rehearsal and I'm looking, and Peter von Marhausen and Christian Blodgett and Denny Barry, and they're giving us notes, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this was year 17 for me. I thought my dad, got a gold watch from his company, and I thought, I'm on my way to a gold watch in the theater. How does that happen? And I got a little bit verklempt because these people are just so lovely, such lovely people. I mean, Kristen,
Yeah.
she remembers your audition song. She remembers from 25 years ago. She remembers the song you walked in with and why she said, that's the one. And she'll
Yes.
tell you. And it's anyway, such good people. It's I miss it. I miss that group of people, and I miss that show and whatever. But luckily other things happen and it gets to move on.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the other shows you've been a part of and other productions. Quite a few. You've got an incredible background.
There's a new one, Anne of Green Gables, that Maddie O'Brien and Matt Vincent wrote. It's a musical version of Anne of Green Gables, and it's started we sort of worked on it at the Finger Lakes Musical Theater Festival, which is now called the Rev, and they just gave their all to this beautiful show. The set was gorgeous. The orchestration was beautiful. The Jen Thompson directed. Jen Kuzka did the choreography. I hope I didn't say her last name right, but anyways, it was amazing. And it looks like this summer we're going to remount Anne of Green Gables. I hope. It hasn't been announced yet, so I'm just saying I'm hoping that this happens. That's a show that I love. I got to play Matthew in that. Matthew and Marilla are the ones taking Anne.
Yeah.
So that's an exciting thing. And there was a show.
You ever see the PBS series, the version that they did of Anne of Green Gables? They aired when Colleen Dewhurst was in it.
Yes.
God, I miss Colleen Dewhurst. She was terrific.
I got to sit and watch her do Moon for the Misbegotten, and then sit in the second row while she came in and just sort of sat on the edge of the stage, legs dangling, talking to us. It was.
Yeah. She was real and authentic. Absolutely. Huh?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how did the teaming up, he's your accompanist. How did he,
it was
how'd you guys team
Yeah,
up?
when we were working on Phantom, and when I got the show and I knew I'd be touring, because I love doing what I call cabaret performances. I love writing, and I thought, how am I going to do this? And I don't know how. Was it through a benefit? One of the benefits?
It could have been. I don't recall exactly.
We do benefits generally for Broadway Cares Equity Fight Say It on the road. And so I love to put them together because I love to hear people sing, and I love to say, oh, this song in an evening, and this song and that song and this song. And so I would put them together, and David was like, I'll play, so and we probably did about 8 of those a year, the time that we were doing
quite a number of them,
quite a few, and
in all different cities, of course, while we were touring.
Yeah. So I think we just hit it off so well, and we love singing. I love singing when he plays, and so we then started doing cabaret shows on Monday nights off sometimes, and then we started doing recordings, and now we're still there. We are. We're still at it. And every time I get to sit out or stand next to this guy playing, I'm just in heaven. So
that is so cool. We went a little digging, DC, and we came up with something that we're going to want to show, because for the folks watching right now, thanks for joining us here on the Jim Masters Show. They're going to be performing for us here on the show as well. But we found something that I thought was so appropriate for the time. We talk often about how we need to laugh. We have to have more levity. I keep saying our show has a lot of light love and levity, and out of that born the word lovity. And that happened about 2 years ago, and it's been lovity ever since with our viewers and our guests and just the whole vibe of the show. So the viewers call me Mr. Levity. This is Levity Hall. They are part of the Levity Squad. You guys and all the other guests are now part of the Levity family, which I think is really, really cool. And then I asked them, how do we spell it? Lovity, Louvity. Should we keep the E in love, or do we drop the E? Because grammatically, Loveity wouldn't necessarily pass the test in 7th grade, but they voted keep the E in. They said, we don't want the word love destroyed. So Loveity is what we say. And so that's where the levity came from. But you did a few years back this song called I Have to Laugh. Tell us about that. And then we're going to actually play it for our viewers.
Well, actually, that song is kind of a wrist
It,
slacker.
it is. It's sort of a, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Have you ever?
But
I
pretty
don't know.
much like whatever life throws at you,
Yes,
you have to laugh.
you have to
You
like
have to laugh.
it was one of those things where you're in a relationship, you think for like 4 years, and you just happen to be talking to them. Usually, Valentine's Day is. I mean, there's a landmine, that thing, and you're near Valentine's Day, and you think, well, you say something like, well, since we're in this, great relationship, let's get together. Da, da, da. And the person goes, we're not in a relationship. And you say, then you're like, oh, okay, I gotta go now. And then you're like, well,
After
I
you just went,
gotta laugh.
after you just went furniture shopping, suddenly you're not in the relationship.
And you go, okay, I have to laugh about this because I thought this was, but okay, moving on. Writing a sad song. I have a friend who said to me once, she said she had a relationship, and she said, the relationship's coming to an end. She was a songwriter. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. She said, don't be. 2 good songs going in, 2 good songs going out. So I thought, that I have to laugh was one of the 2 good songs going out. And I didn't even know there wasn't even a relationship to have 2 good songs. But, so,
but it stands the test of time and still applies, right?
Yeah.
It still applies. You gotta laugh. If anything about the last 2 years taught us, you gotta laugh because things can get a little nutty.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's play that for our viewers. We welcome everybody watching here on the Jim Masters Show. If you are here for the first time, welcome to our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. It's a pleasure to have you here. And here is DC Anderson on stage doing I Have to Laugh.
I'm wide awake at 3 a.m. I fooled myself today. I decided we were over, and I thought it felt okay. Silence now surrounds. My lonely heart still wants to fight, but my head's a better fighter, and it's won this round tonight. I have to laugh at missing what was never really mine. I have to laugh to think I had a made-up Valentine. You have no idea I have broken up with you. You're most likely sleeping soundly, like most clue-free pie in the sky, just plain bad news. Jilted lovers do. You know, of course, this means I won't be calling to say hey. You know, this means I'll write you only every other day. I'll show you what it's like to have a love who's MIA. I have to laugh at missing what was never really mine. I have to laugh to think I had a made-up Valentine. You have no idea I have broken up with you. You're most likely sleeping soundly, like most clue-free pie in the sky, just plain bad news. Jilted lovers do.
Bo-ho.
No. And as I listened, I realized that I sort of twisted the story. It's been a long time, and I haven't heard that song in a while. And I think that it was one of those things where I got from our conversation. So it's not that I heard we don't have one. It's just as we were talking, I realized we don't have one. So then that's like I guess I have to talk about this. So then I wrote this song. Then I decided, well, then I have to break up with this person. I guess I have to. So, so I guess I will, but they have no idea.
Terrific voice. Wonderful voice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thinner then. This was a few years back.
Everybody says that when they look at the...
How do bones get wider? Do bones gain weight? Ooh. Anyway.
They say noses and ears don't stop growing either.
Oh, I think that's true.
That's what they say. Everything else seems to, but the noses and the ears don't. We also have, we dug up something else pretty cool, showing some of your acting prowess as well, because I know we were focusing on the musical side, but you're also a film and television and stage actor as well, Broadway, off-Broadway, television, movies. Here is DC Anderson doing his thing here, there, and everywhere. Take a look, gang.
Hello, Bob. How are you, Bob? You know Norman Oppenheimer?
No, I don't.
Very nice to meet you.
This is my wife, Joyce.
It's really very nice meeting you.
I can revoke the card, but it won't do you much good.
Why is that?
He's in the building.
What are those, your special matches or something? You're hiding them from me?
My friend gave them to me.
I will give you them back when I'm done. A friend. Yeah. Who's this friend? Talk to me about this friend. Oh, that's what's important, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He had these stunning blue eyes, like an icy mountain lake, which happens to be where he dumped the bodies.
Don't look at the gun. Reach in your pocket and hand me the keys.
Take them. Good boy. On your knees.
Sal isn't with us this evening. However, I would like to present to you both a copy of his latest book. May our recipes become your family dinners.
Gravity. The gravity club. You lying little pig! I fixed it for ya! Where did you go with Brent?
I was only on the street.
I'm asking you a question. Where did you go with Brent?
Hey,
look who's back.
Marion, you dye your hair?
What? Why?
I don't know. I always think of you as blonde. Hey, can I get a picture?
I participate in the saunas, the massages, another sensual delight.
In case you were wondering, I'm an American.
This is coming to my attention that have been nominated for an award.
It's late at night. I'm getting fatter by the minute.
And now a song from my latest CD recording. Let's see. Oh shit, I don't know how to play the guitar.
Am I crazy? A little bit. A little bit.
Oh my.
That sweet guy that just sang I had to laugh. Bang that lady's head on that pool table.
Oh, that was a hard thing to shoot.
That's incredible. That shows your brilliance in terms of range and variety and scope, and to be able to take on all the different roles and bring out different elements of you, or if it's not your personality, to be able to study it and sort of bring that in. Really, really cool, huh?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was just talking about acting just recently, one of my favorite acting teachers used to say, you know, we're capable of everything. We're really capable. We make personal choices. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to behave this way in this circumstance. I'm not going to do that. Whatever, you know, for whatever reasons. But the other in the play, they have different reasons, and they choose that. So I just realized when I'm doing a part that does something like that, I say, well, this was his choice, and it's a choice I can make.
Yeah.
Not so easily, it turns out, in the sense that when you do something like that in a scene, uh, I don't like to hurt people, so
Right.
I'm good.
It's
But
acting, right?
when you do that, you just afterwards, it's like, I am so sorry. Anyway,
To
sorry.
the fellow actors, right?
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry I had to put the cream pie in your face.
yeah, yeah. So
But where do you pull from? Where do you get inspired when you have to take on these different characters like that? Um, what inspires you? What do you pull from? And do you ever get so emotionally attached to the role, to that person that you're playing, that it's hard to detach? You know, sometimes you hear stories where actors and actresses will say, that role was so incredibly intense, or that role was so moving and so emotional for me. Or I've done that role so long that that character has become me and I'm that character. And it's tough to separate the two. How about for you, the intensity, the emotion, and being able to separate from the various characters you've had an opportunity, roles you've played over the years?
Well, I like to think that I once did the Mousetrap, the British play the Mousetrap, about being in a guest house, and I was the guy who ran the guest house, me and my wife, and there was a fellow actor who used to say, we had a director at that time who was like, I want everyone in character from half an hour before the show to the show, and you're thinking, what does that mean? You know, so I mean, because the script is where you know, and the place in between the two actors is where you find your character. So what is that? But we all were like, okay, we'll do that. And every once in a while you would show up, are you in character? And we'd be like, yes, I'm totally in character. But this guy used to say, chuck it. It's cold. I'm British. I'm in a guest house. You know. You know, that was his preparation. So I like to think that that's how I am. And then cut to doing a show like, for instance, Anne of Green Gables,
Yeah.
or the song Queen, the show Queen of the Mist, which was about Annie Edson Taylor. Annie Edson Taylor went over the Niagara Falls in 1900 in a barrel and lived. And she died a pauper. She died blind and a pauper, and because what happened is she did it because she was trying to make a living. She was in her 60s. She was unmarried. She wanted to make a living for herself, and so she thought, I'll get famous after I go over the Niagara Falls in a barrel. It's in the year 1900. She had the barrel built. She studied everything. You know, the river. She watched the river, how, you know, where the currents were, everything.
Wow, she rolled out the barrel.
Yeah, she literally rolled out the barrel. And so at the end of the show, so she, what happens is she can't talk about it. It's such a profound experience for her that afterwards she can't talk about it. So it's like, what happened? What happened? We will pay you to tell us what happened.
We will pay you.
And she couldn't
fathom, couldn't bring it up. Yeah.
So she ended up being a pauper. And at the end of Michael John LaCusa's incredible score and show, she talks about it. She's a young, anyway, she talks about it, about the experience, and it's heartbreaking. And and when I think about it, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And so it's in there. And so I think I'm cold. It's British. I'm British. I'm cold. I'm at a guest house. But no, that's not really what happened, because her story went in, and it stays in. And so what you do is, my friend Hollis Resnick, an incredible actress who just passed away last week, I'm still a little raw about that. She said something to this mutual friend recently. She said, I'm someone who leans in. I don't lean back as a person. I lean in. And I thought, oh my God, that is her. That is Hollis Resnick. She leaned in to everything. And so so I'm someone who thought I was leaning back when I was doing Queen of the Mist. And I find out because of the way I respond when I just think about it. And I think about Annie Edson Taylor, and I think about the glorious music, and I think about the amazing transport group. And I think about those people, and they're in. So yes, it gets in, and you don't know when it's going to come out. And while you're doing it, you're doing the play. So if I'm somebody who's not in the play, who doesn't give a rat's whatever about Annie Edson Taylor, which I was playing a character in some part of the play in which I didn't. I was just trying to make money off of her. So that person, so I leaned into that guy. So I didn't give a crap about her. But me personally, how many years later? 2011. She's still in here. So that's how that works.
Beautifully said. Obviously, still very raw and very connecting for you. And, in doing my background research, you and I have somebody that we both sort of looked up to, the one and only Jack Lemmon.
Oh my
He
God.
is one of my favorites of all time.
Yes.
Just his delivery, his authenticity, his wit, his humor, the way he inflects punches, articulates words. So many incredible productions and movies and shows and so much more. But in The Out of Towners with Sandy Dennis,
The two of them, she too. She was
brilliant.
yes.
They were that, and Quincy Jones' music and Neil Simon's, storyline in New York at that time period, late 60s, early 70s. Just everything is so perfect about that movie. And I know they tried to remake it later on with
Didn't they?
Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn, I think. And having seen a Jack Lemmon do it and a Sandy Dennis with the quirky nature and all, oh, George, and you're going to hear from me, Winkler, and what's your name? Kellerman. I'm Kellerman. Just the whole thing. It's so real because those things can happen.
Yes.
Maybe not all exactly in a row like that in a 2-hour time frame, but just the way he and everything, The Prisoner of Second Avenue with Anne Bancroft, another one of those, and of course all the others that he's known for. But there's just something about his way that relates to the struggles of everyday life and the craziness and idiosyncrasies that we get hung up on. And if anything about what's gone on the last 2 years, pandemics and things of that nature, has taught us, is to not get hung up on all the little things. It's those simple things, those pure things, but it's those things that we do collectively that really matter most, right? And so for you, Jack Lemmon, a very big part of your world.
And he said, I don't take a part unless it scares the crap out of me. So I've never forgotten that. There were two things that when I was younger that I heard that I said, put those in there. I don't take a part unless it's not that I don't take a part. I love to take a part. I take a part. But the ones that scare you, those are the ones that thrilled him, and those are the ones that he couldn't wait to get his teeth into. And then there was Jack Albertson, who after The Subject Was Roses, I think he won the Best Actor Oscar. Johnny Carson said to Jack Albertson, "So now that you won a Best Actor Oscar, he's probably in his 60s, a long career." He said, "I bet you're going to start being picky about roles." And he said, "You know what? I'm an actor. I act. A role comes my way. I'm going to do it."
He was married to Shirley Winters in The Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, yes.
He was on Chico and the Man with Freddie Prinze on NBC. So
These are
talk
good.
about variety, huh?
Yep. So
he was a great actor. Yeah, you knew what you got when you got Jack Albertson. Meryl Streep, Robert De Niro also inspire you, huh?
They do. There's a film they did together. Was it called Falling in Love? Where they were a couple. I believe this is, and what I love about them is that they. Well, I just love them. They when I was 18, 19, 20, and they were breaking out, I guess is what they would say. And I was saying to
Yeah.
myself, boy, I want to do
Their
that.
star was rising. Yes.
Yes, I have a Meryl Streep story that someday, if I ever meet her, I will tell her this story of going to the Fargo Theater in Fargo, North Dakota, when I was at grad school. Sophie's Choice was playing, and it was the first thing I saw at the Fargo Theater. I was a freshman, or grad student, so it was my fall quarter. The night before we start, Sophie's Choice is playing. And what I didn't know about the Fargo Theater is that in so many minutes into the film, at every performance, at least when I was in most of the evenings that I ever went there, so many minutes into the film, it doesn't matter what was happening in the film, the curtain would close and out of the full floor would come Floyd and the Mighty Wurlitzer. So there's Meryl Streep in Sophie's Choice. She sits on in the window seat. She starts to tell Stingo the story of how she lost, how she had her choice, and the blue light is on her, and you see her start to tell this story, and the thing closes, and out of the ground, bum bum boom ba ba bum boom ba bum bum on the organ, boom 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 bum 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 whiz bang bang, I was like, what? And then after he did 15 minutes, it's closed. The curtain closed. He curtain opened. He went down into the floor, and Meryl continued with the story. I wonder when she was filming that, she was probably never thinking that might happen. It was one of the oddest things that ever happened in a movie theater to me in my life.
That's incredible. What a great story to share. That's now Man of La Mancha, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Lion in Winter, Oklahoma, The Glass Menagerie. So much that you've been involved in, DC, huh?
I got to play Sancho Panza twice. First time as a junior in high school, and I was dreadful. I had seen so many things recently. I think I just had seen Marat Sade, Persecution and Assassination of Jean-Paul Marat as Marat Sade. It's the Royal Shakespeare Company doing this production in a nut house, it's literally set in a nut house. And so I was like, oh, that, being a nut, what was that like? Digging into the, these gestures and the ticks, why are you doing the ticks? And, so I get Sancho, and they are in a dungeon in Man of La Mancha. And I thought, well, a dungeon, you could go nuts in a dungeon. But the thing is, he just gets there. I just get there, and all of a sudden, I'm doing ticks and, oh, what's that? And they're trying to do, I am Don Quixote, and I'm going, I'm Sancho. Yes, I'm Sancho. I was horrible. So cut to 2017 when I got the opportunity to play Sancho again. And I'm not the usual type that plays Sancho. Although give me a couple of more candy bars and I will be. But and I remember going into the theater once, and a woman was walking and getting her ticket, and she looked at the poster out front with me and Don Quixote, and she went, "Him as Sancho? No." Oh well, but I think I did better. I did better that time, but I had to forget. She said, reminds me of a phantom story. I have a phantom story of one time I got to do it with Michael Crawford in Los Angeles, and Joe Delger was like the third understudy for the Phantom, and Michael Crawford was never out, and Norman Large was the understudy. I think there was another one, and then Joe Delger and Michael Crawford, like his one time out. Norman Large was on vacation. They let him go on vacation because they had to, because we were running years and years, so Joe Delger was on. So he called up his fiance. He said, "Come to the theater. I'm going to play the Phantom of the Opera." And so she's in line, and she's waiting, and she hears, and she's waiting, and at the box office they're telling people, today Michael Crawford will not be performing the Phantom of the Opera. It will be Joe Delger. So this woman hears this news that's standing in front of her, turns to somebody and goes, "Hey, Marge, Crawford's out." And so says, Some assholes playing the part. And she's thinking, that's my fiance. But I had to tell that story just because I love that story. Joe Judge was an amazing fan, by the way. Anyway, sorry, I like telling stories.
No, that's what a great story that is, huh?
Yeah.
There's always one in every crowd, right?
Yes, and then there's the other woman at the box office that said, Michael Crawford. I thought we were coming in to see Johnny Crawford from The Rifleman.
Now, if they had said Joan Crawford, that would have been really something.
Something.
That is incredible. That is amazing. Great stories. David, what are some stories you may have that you want to share with us as well?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Get a pot of coffee going, folks.
There's one funny story with Phantom. There's a scene where the gunshot scene, you know.
Oh, yes.
So
oh my, yes.
So there's a chorus member who is there to with a
He's with the
gun.
prop with pistol, yeah.
And so Ral is speaking to him from up above. It says, "You in the box. Do you remember the lines?"
It's just something like, you there in the pit. Do you know your instructions or something like that?
Yes, sir. When the time comes, shoot. Only when you have to. But one time the
Let's
gun
shoot to
went
kill
off early.
Oh God!
When the time comes, shoot. Bam. Only when you have to.
So
and
it's live theater,
the craziness of it all. Yes, live theater, live radio, live TV, live everything. It can be crazy, but exhilarating too, right? It's a matter of how we all respond to it. As things are going down and things are crazy, that's when we have to rise to the occasion and really make sense of it and sort of plug things back in and smooth things out, right? I love stuff that is like that because it's up to us to get in there and sort of work it all out on the fly, right? It can be very challenging, but exhilarating.
Well, I like to be what David Cryer, who played Fairman when I was Andre, when I first started as Andre. We always were in what they call the world of the play. When we hit the stage, we were in the world of the play. I was Andre, he was Fairman. There was never any conversation that wasn't Andre and Fairman. So we got to know Andre and Fairman pretty well. So I was always in the world of the play. And there was one scene when actually earlier when I was playing Monsieur Rayet, also in the world of the play, and Rayet conducts the chorus. And there was a scene where I'm upstage and all this crazy stuff is happening because the drop has fallen and the dancers have been dancing. And I always used to call a chorister over and show her something in the book and say, you're not singing this line. You sang the line from the thing before and you're in the wrong measure at that time. You really need. And so I would do this and she would always, So one day I'm facing upstage. I'm talking to her. I'm saying, you're not singing. You sang that measure. At this time, you have to we're opening tonight and you have to be right on this. And she said, and Lydia says, DC, stop acting. I'm thinking, what? Who's DC? First of all, I thought, from the world of play, Mr. Ray. So I'm like, and she goes, DC, stop acting. My battery is running low, it says. Sorry. Can you give me that thing there? I'll plug in. Sorry, my battery's running low. So she says, stop acting. And so I finally keep going, and she says, DC, the curtain has fallen. Christine, the woman on for Christine, she tripped, she sprained her ankle, her understudy's being gotten ready and so the curtain is down. And I turned around, and everyone's just sort of standing there waiting for the understudy. And I'm just going, you must get on the thing. If you don't do that, then how are you going to, And she's, Stacey, stop acting. Anyway, that was a story that I thought was funny.
That is cool.
Oh, gosh, David has a funny story. What? Oh, God. For a while, I was the swing. The swings. We heard a lot about swings when Kathy Voyko, who was a swing on Music Man, went on as Marion.
She was our colleague.
She was in Phantom of the Opera. But so I was a swing at the time, and I came in, and I hadn't done the auctioneer in a year and a half. And David Hansen, the stage manager, said, have me do it at the put in that afternoon. It was the first day of a new city, and then that night we get there, and he says, "Do you want to rehearse it again? Do you have it?" I said, "Oh yeah, it came right out." So we get out there, and there's a place where he goes, and lock 666, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, he says something about, wow, I forget the lines. But anyway, I forgot them then too. So I was supposed to have the things, and I go, and
Quite a long.
it is a long one.
Dialogue that the auctioneer has to open the show.
And then he says, "Perhaps we may frighten the ghosts of so many years ago with a little illumination, gentlemen." And he takes this thing and he puts it together, and then it goes poof, and the chandelier rises. Yes, yes. And so I'm standing there going, "What's my line? Oh my God!" So I think, well, you can't go wrong with the name of the play. So I said, "Perhaps we may see the Phantom of the Opera." And I'm thinking, and then I go, and everybody's looking at me like, "That's not the line." I'm thinking, I know. I know. Just let's get this thing started, can we? And finally, they figured out that, poof, So I thought, oh my, I'm fired. And David Hansen comes up to me after the show and says, "DC, you'll never do that again, will you?" I said, "No." And I never did that again. Never forgot another line. Anyway. Thanks for that, bringing that story up.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, that's
but it just shows people that, anything can happen, right?
Well, that story grew to the point where David DeWitt told, I was at a party with him, and he was saying, "Oh, this is DC." One time, 5 nights in a row, he forgot, and he said he screamed the Phantom of the Opera for 5 nights in a row. I was like, "No, it was one night, never happened again." And he said, "Oh, I think it was 5 nights." No, David, how many nights was it? One.
One singular sensation.
I get scared with my story.
Oh my God. Now, what do you guys individually, would you grow up? Because you've been all over the place. You've been all over the country, DC. I know you've lived here, you've lived there, you've lived there.
I grew up in Ohio, Elyria, Ohio, near Cleveland. And
Yeah.
David grew up. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Columbus, Ohio, but never knew it. I basically grew up half my childhood in Southern California, and the second half in Hyde Park here in New York State in the Hudson Valley.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then you went to school in Ohio, though, right?
Yeah, well, my undergrad school was SUNY at Potsdam, way upstate in New York. But then I went to grad school at the Cleveland Institute of Music.
So that's, Ohio. Yeah, Ohio.
Yeah, I was going to say, right? Yeah. Tim Conway came from Ohio.
He did?
Cleveland.
Oh
Cleveland.
He did?
Cleveland, Ohio is where Tim Conway's from. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I missed
Yes.
Wiggins on Carol Burnett. Tim Conway. What a genius.
Yes. And the one that brought him out to California was his buddy, Ernie Anderson, the legendary voiceover announcer who in the 70s and 80s was the booming voice of ABC, the deep-throated, the Love Boat on ABC. He had played a funny character on Channel 5 in Cleveland. Tim was his cohort, and then Ernie went out to ABC to do all of the voiceovers. He was the voiceover announcer on the Carol Burnett Show as well. The Carol Burnett Show.
Yeah.
And then brought Tim into Hollywood. We had Tim's daughter, Kelly Conway, on the show. She's brilliant. She wrote a book about, I think the title of the book is My Father Was Funnier Than Yours. A really great book on Tim, but he hails from Cleveland. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You guys want to perform something for us, right? I know our viewers watching love that. What would you like to perform, DC and David?
Well, this is a song that I was asked to create a song to to commemorate my partner's is retiring as an arts administrator, as the executive director of an arts council. And I said, and so I wrote this song with my sister Claudia, and it's called "Song for Artists." So we're going to do that.
So you scratched your head and said, "Let's do Song for Artists."
Yeah.
Commemorating the role of the artist in
Yes, about that, just the
society.
It's really
artist in the
fantastic.
world.
Fantastic. All right, let's take a look at that.
This is my song to artists of all nations, a song of thanks for gifts of heart and mind, visions of hope, of faith in our creation, born of your love and dreams for all mankind. Your many stories, old and new imagined, guiding us forward, leading from behind. You've painted skies, all colors of the ocean. You've danced to freedom, harmony, and birth. You've captured light in this and every season, voicing our wisdom, sorrows, and our mirth. You've taught our children art is its own language, and how that language liberates the earth. This is my song to artists of all nations, a song of thanks for gifts of heart and mind, visions of hope, of faith in our creation, born of your love and dreams for all mankind. This is my song to artists of all nations, a song of thanks for gifts of heart and mind, visions of hope, of faith in our creation, born of your love and dreams for all mankind.
It's a beautiful song, isn't it? That is
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
My sister
Yeah.
Claudia Anderson wrote the music to that.
That's such a beautiful song. There's another one you want to share with our audience?
Yes, there is another one, and there's actually a radio program that called Q Radio, Alternative Q Radio. That song is now number 6 on the chart.
Wow!
It's so nice to
1,
be on
2,
the
3,
chart.
4, 5, 6.
We started out at 18. We went to 13. We went to 10. Then we were stalled for a week. I thought, oh no, we're on the way down. Then 8. Then 6.
So if I can get rid of this thumb, it'll
Yes.
be 5, and then 4, and then hopefully 3, and then
I mean,
2, and then
it's just,
5.
you know, it's exciting that's being played, and there was a reviewer of the album that said that they liked that song the best on the new album. It's called House Concert.
Very cool.
That was just anyway. So this is a new one. My friend Bryce Kulak and I wrote this, and this is it kind of self-explanatory, right? No.
It's a wah wah.
Yeah.
Here we go. DC and David.
I fell in love with you today. again. You encourage me in some way, some sweet way, just to be me, like you do, as you have done for years. I have tested you, but not on purpose, subtly and not so subtly. I have dared you to declare, that's enough, that's enough. Instead you say more. I watch you love your children as they grow, but not so fast that they have sped through dad's a jerk, but sometimes far too fast to see you or to know that you will risk the designation through your own private tears so you can spare them theirs. I see you nurturing the best in people. I see you patiently and thoughtfully dealing with their worst. What, oh what, what, oh what, I ask the universe. What not to love? One must be careful with that question. It sends out spies and tricksters, sowers of the seeds of discontentment. They have come back empty-handed. I fell in love with you today. Again.
Very beautiful. That
Thank
is
you.
really, really beautiful.
I think
You
that's
guys,
brand new.
yeah, you guys make a great team. I tell you.
Thank you.
You know, as you're performing, what's happening inside? What is obviously something is going on. You know, what's happening to you, David, and what's happening to you, DC, as you're performing a piece like that?
You know, I find DC has such a wonderful way of communicating through his songs. It's so natural for him. It's just wonderful to work with, you know, with the person with his ability that way. It just, I think we kind of feed off of each other, and you know, in this piece, the words are so nice, and the way that Mr. Kulak,
Bryce Kulak,
you know, put it together. There's just such a warm feeling, you know, with the harmonies and the way the piano part's written, and just the sort of mood of the song, the way the piece moves, you know, it's just a warm feeling that comes over me and us. I think, you know, we've been singing and playing together a long time. You know, we've got
like, is it 20? Is it 20 years? I'm asking the camera. Is it 20? Is it 20 years? I think.
You know, I was remembering when I first met you, because I was
2001. Right, for me.
I was the associate conductor on the Phantom of the Opera Tour, and so part of my duties was to teach the new people that came in. Now, DC was not new to Phantom, but he was new to our company at that time. So I had music rehearsals with you, and I just remembered, you know, you were so intent with getting everything exactly right, but at the same time you were just so cooperative and wonderful to work with. I think maybe that's where we started connecting,
I think
in
so
those
too.
early music rehearsals for the Phantom. So.
Yeah. And David, actually, this song, I wrote this, and I was feeling about my partners, feeling very, just feeling it. It's all true. And I sent it to Bryce, and it's sort of more a poem than lyrics in a way.
Yeah.
And Bryce, I think, did this beautiful job with it. But where it came from, which is this sentimental place, I realized when we first sang through it, I was going, I fell in love with you again today, and it's like, maybe what I hear when I see these words, what I hear in the music is more of a sentimental thing, and I realized
it comes from from the deepest. I mean, the words are so lovely. I mean, I fell in love with you today again. As if to say, I fall in love with you every day. It's just such a lovely sentiment,
and it's where I started.
Love with you every day, yeah.
When I was writing it, that's what I was writing. But I realized sometimes, like Jack Lemmon talks about the thing about scares you. Sometimes being sensitive, that word, sentimental. Talking about love is sometimes not the easiest thing, especially.
Right.
So I had leaned back from this song until this morning, actually, when we were working on it, and he said to me, this it sounds, the jauntiness isn't quite really what it is. And so that's another thing I love about him, is he can bring me to where the music, where I'm not making much sense. I think
he can bring you to the center, to the heart of where it is.
Yeah. I mean, he's willing to say that, say to me that this could be, basically it's like, this could be stronger, and because look at what you've written.
Right. So that what you've written is such a beautiful and thought-provoking and deep beginning, and you can take it from there, right?
Thank you.
Great foundation.
It's what I was thinking when I wrote it, and so I had to go back. That he led me back there to that place, because
I think from looking at it on my own prior to us getting together, I developed a concept of it myself, and that's what we kind of shared together when we started working on it, together.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Collaboration is all about, when you have kindred spirits working on something beautiful and creative like that has such a wonderful impact for others. There's nothing like it. Is there something else you wanted to share with us?
Have fun.
Let's do have fun. This is a song. My sister used to say this to me sometimes, but I've had other people say this to me too, and so I had to write a song about it.
To have fun?
Yes, and this is Elizabeth Doyle wrote the music to it, and I wrote the lyrics.
Are you a perfectionist, DC? Are you hard on yourself?
No, I don't think so. I hope not. I don't think I'm a perfectionist. I'm sometimes, if you saw the.
Well, I mean,
he's looking at David.
I'm committed. Like I said.
Yeah. I think that's
striving for excellence.
That way, committed, which is the way I like to think of it. Then definitely, I would say.
But I never go, David, that was less than perfect. Or I never say to myself, David, that was less than perfect.
A lot of people do that, a lot of people, that's what stops them, and they get hung up on that. Yeah, they never think what they just did, which was brilliant, is good enough,
And that's to me, that's so sad. I was reading
Yeah.
a thing that someone posted, a school teacher posted this week, that someone passed on Facebook, and it was a woman who said, I may not know parents of the children in my room. I may not know the parents, but I can tell you which parents read to their children. I can tell you which child in my classroom is being read to. I can tell which child in my classroom is being read to with voices, with funny voices. I
Yes.
can tell, I can tell which child in my room is nurtured in this way and that way, and I can tell you which ones are being told to shut up and sit down. I didn't say that, actually. I added that, but she was just pointing out that. So why did I start that discussion? I don't know.
Talking about whether or not you're hard on yourself and excellence and
Yes. So
perfectionism.
I try to be the person that just does funny voices to myself and just says, have a good, enjoy yourself. And
Enjoy the ride. Exactly.
yes,
Which is
I woke myself up one morning saying, I am not the sum of my disappointments. And I went, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm mad as, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
and I thought, where did that come from? But I'm glad I heard it, because it's easy for us to do. I've add up our disappointments, and that's who we are. So
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not that.
You know who you remind me of a little bit? Just and looking at you just a little bit, a much thinner version. But there are elements, and maybe David will see this too a little bit. You remind me a little of the brilliant actor, Ned Beatty,
Oh,
especially
thank
in the
you.
face. Do you see that, David, in the face? The
Do
eyes?
I look like Ned Beatty? I think he and Bert Lahr. People tell me Bert Lahr, but I think
Yes, I could see Bert Lahr too. Yes, but definitely around the eyes.
I can see that. I can see that too.
Yeah, the
Wow.
eyes. Yeah.
Boy, if I had half his
Do you
talent.
see that, David, a little bit and around the eyes?
Actually, not until you pointed it out, but now I can see it. Yeah.
You can see it, right? Yeah, and definitely Bert Lahr. Yes, I would say absolutely. Those are great people to be
Oh my
compared
God.
to, but you
Yeah.
are DC. You are unique, and
Oh,
you are brilliant.
thank you.
Let's hear that next song.
Okay.
I wanted to add one thing, kind of in line with what you were asking about before, especially with me working with singers. There's sometimes you just meet a singer, or not a singer in this case, where your creative energies just kind of gel. And that's what I've always felt about working with together. We just, our creative energies just kind of mix and work, and we don't have to always speak about certain things, there's
No.
certain things that just kind of happen, naturally. And that's always wonderful, when that happens. It
Yes.
doesn't always happen, but when it does, I mean, it's really nice. So
It's the best, isn't it? When that just gels and just happens like that. There's nothing better. It's like a fantastic tennis match where you both win. You both scream love.
Yep.
It just works out perfectly.
I wanted to add one other thing, like with original material,
Yeah.
sometimes you come across a song where, again, the mix of the words and the music just work, and the piece is kind of elevated to a level beyond kind of just the, normal, and speaks and
Yes.
communicates, in a special way.
In a way that you didn't necessarily set out, but it just takes on a life of its own and just really reaches people at incredibly deep, profound, and long-lasting ways, which is the best. I mean, some of the greatest works of anything, that's what has happened. And sometimes it happens haphazardly, not planned, not strategized. You end up throwing out the plans and you end up just riffing. And out of the riff comes this extraordinary situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the guy who said, let's take peanut butter and chocolate and put them together in a peanut butter cup. What an ingenious thing to do.
Yeah.
The guy that thought of that, I tell you.
Yeah.
So more music with DC
All right, have
and
fun with
David.
This is a fun. You want to say anything about curmudgeon?
Oh, I can be a bit of a curmudgeon, this is part of my training. I think this is part of my curmudgeon training. I'm going along and I'm perfectly fine. I'm having a really nice day. I'm lunching, I'm laughing, I'm lounging around. And then some dumb cluck will say, have fun! Have fun! Get up off your butt! Go have fun! And I'm thinking, Why, you are the happiness elf. And I'm wishing you'd keep that happiness to yourself. 'Cause there's nothing that puts a nice relaxing day on the shelf. Like, come on, get a move on, have fun. As a kid, it was all I intended to do. There was little that got in the way. I'd be running and yelling and tearing around. And then some dumb cluck would say, calm down, calm down. You are way too wound up now, calm down. I'd be thinking, well, you could just leave if I'm loud. And I'm wishing you'd know to get up off of my cloud. 'Cause there's nothing that grates like it's just not allowed. Kids, you're way too wound up. Now calm down. It's not that I'm not winding up anymore, but I find the recliner hard to ignore. It's those clucks who would tell me to do either or. Oh, and here's some advice that I really abhor. Relax. Relax. Get over yourself and relax. And I'm thinking I might just give birth to a cow. And I'm wishing I had that thing right about now. Just to prove to you I'm not the type to kowtow. So you give it a rest and relax. Stay cool, hang loose, lighten up, chill.
You guys get a kick out of each other, don't you?
We do.
You really enjoy performing together. I mean, it's
We
so
do.
evident and it's so pure and it's so honest. I mean, you can really get into the serious pieces, but you really do. There's a lot of joy that happens together, huh? When you're performing.
There is. Yep. Yep. This is what I love doing. And I love doing it with him. He loves doing it. We like doing it.
You know, I said Ned Beatty a little bit earlier, yes, and then Bert Lahr, yes. Come on, gang, don't you see? Look at the eyes. It's all in the eyes.
We have those eyes. We have these lids that just that come down and yeah. Yep. Yep. People used to always, you know, roof, roof. What else is he saying? Kevin. Oh boy. Anyway.
I tell you, that's it. That's funny. Oh boy. What I'll start with you, David. What brings you great blessing and joy to do what you do so well?
Oh,
Do what you do so well.
Well, playing music, you know, playing music, and I was trained classically, and I love, you know, great classical music, but I grew up playing rock and roll, and and also, of course, you know, music theater, and so kind of came full circle in doing, you know, music theater for the most part. But that and traveling, I love traveling, and part of why I love being on tour as long as I have, you know, is that I've gotten to travel as part of what I do, and I've been to just about every city in the States multiple times, actually, and also touring through Europe and so forth. So yeah, and just being outside in the sunshine, like a day like this, you know, just things like that.
Anything coming up that you're excited about, David, that you want to share?
What you're excited about?
Right now, as far as professional, I'm just doing some freelance stuff, some accompanying, and you know, gotten called to accompany some concerts and things like that. So, kind of taking things a little one step at a time and slowly at the moment. But just kind of, you know, enjoying things where they're at for right now.
Exactly. How about you, DC? Tell us what brings you such great blessing and joy to do what you've done so brilliantly and beautifully all these years for all of us.
Well, we're going to go into a recording studio tomorrow and record some of the new songs included. Yes. Oh, Monday, tomorrow. Oh,
we're doing a house concert.
We're doing a house concert tomorrow. Yes. Oh, Sunday house concert. What day is this?
This is Friday.
So Monday, we're going to the studio Monday and Tuesday and put some new songs down. So I'm excited about that. I love being in the recording studio, and then we get to record together. And David's brother-in-law, Dave. So it's Dave, and Dave. Dirty with Dave, so I like to say that. So we'll be together again. We did the album house concert at Dave's studio, and which just came out in February, and so we're already working on the next one. So that's what that gets me excited.
His studio is in Saugerties, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Called Area
Saugerties, yeah.
52.
Yeah, that's cool, huh? So you're loving it. You're both loving the whole. You're loving every second of it. A lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of sacrifice. None of it comes easy, but you make it look easy because you're really thoroughly enjoying it. Somebody else that did that for a long time is George Burns, and he's here with us.
Hey, George!
George always likes to pop up and say hello, and he's got a cigar, and his tuxedo is always pressed every time he's here. He's got his red hanky, and he enjoyed himself. He said, "You guys are incredible, the dynamic duo here, DC and David." And of course, he played God in the movie, so you got God on your side. I mean, you can't beat it. There he is. He said you both knocked it out of the park on the Jim Masters show.
Thank you. We enjoyed it very, very much.
You've been a really wonderful host, and thank you for a nice experience with this interview.
George says thank you, and I say thank you as well. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you guys had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I absolutely have with you.
Thank you very much. So it was fun. I watched some of your other shows and I enjoyed them. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. And then I never know if I'm going to say something really stupid. And I did an interview for a film thing a couple months ago, and the thing sometimes on radio, it has to move and it has to be, and it was for a comedy, and so it's like funny.
Keep going, bang, bang, bang.
Something came out that I thought was funny. Well, you know what? Times have changed, and there's a lot of humor that doesn't work anymore. And it was a piece of humor that didn't work anymore. And as soon as I said it, the whole studio went. And someone had described my character in this one film as a jerk, let's say. And so everything got quiet, and then the engineer literally said, "Well, DC, maybe you are a jerk." And I was like, oh my God. So I was hoping that was actually the last time I was in a situation like this. I was hoping that wouldn't happen again.
And it didn't. It didn't. You were on your best behavior. But David has had his right foot on your left toe the whole time to make sure. When he started rising, he just pressed down on the foot and you suppressed it, right?
Isn't that true, though?
That's a different kind of foot pedal he's working.
Yes.
That is funny.
Thank you.
But it is true. Yeah. Sometimes when you get passionate, when people get passionate, anything could happen. But really, really cool to have you guys on the show. And, I just want to show you've got a lot of different music that is available and out there, right? Where can people find all of this, DC?
Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music. It's all over. It's all over the place.
And is it all different styles or different genres? Tell us about that.
Well, usually what I like to say, my shows are like one dang thing after another, but I say a harsher word, not harsh, but one water over the after another, because I find that if I hear a song or I write something, usually when I write something, I want to sing it. But I do a lot of cover songs, and I hear it, and that's Bruce Wynant.
Look at that photo. Yeah, what do we see there?
That was Bruce Wynant and I doing Andre in Fearman. He was Fearman. He and I had a great time. He's a wonderful actor. He's a Gilded Age. He's in all these things right now. Gilded Age, Good Wife, Good Fight, Good News, Good Floor. He's in them. But anyway, no. But he's really wonderful. But what was I going on and on about? I don't know.
We're talking about where people can find all the albums and the different variety genres,
Oh yes. So it's just when I do a show, it is just one thing. So what I realize is when I hear a song and I want to sing it, and I want to sing it like my late friend, the dear departed Wendy Coates, who was a cabaret singer, an incredible cabaret singer. And I remember one time she wasn't able to rehearse with her accompanist for like a year. It could have been. It wasn't during the pandemic, but it was something. Something happened that she couldn't. And she turned to me and she said, if I don't sing these songs soon, I will not be responsible for my actions. And she said just like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I hope you sing those songs real soon. You know,
Pretty serious, huh?
but I thought that's really it. I mean, that's really what someone. So I have to. It has to be a song like Jack Lemmon had to be scared to death. It has to be a song that if I don't sing it, I'm not going to be responsible for my actions. So that means though that when I tried once, because I've gotten grief in reviews and stuff before. People say he just sings. It's all random. It seems there's no arc. There's no story being told, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I do craft it somehow, but you know. So it is. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot of the song. My mom was into country music. My dad was into Tony Bennett, and so folk music. My sister introduced me to folk music in the '60s, and so it's usually a combination of folk music, folk and country western. I like the storytelling aspects of them. So those two.
Storytelling, yeah.
And then jazz stuff from my dad, and then what my dad used to call "save the world" songs, which are songs I write, but that have to do with the heart, personal things. My dad was always like, "There's no beat. Come on, where's the beat?" And I was like, "Listen to the words." He goes, "I don't hear the words. I hear the beat." Or here's the rhythm. My dad was into jazz, so here's the
yeah.
So,
oh, sure, yeah.
yes, and then
When I've always thought about DC's shows, that they are a gamut of life. There's funny things, there's serious things, there's sad things, there's thought-provoking things, and all done, as I say, with DC's really unique way of communicating. And
thank you.
No, I've always felt. I really have always felt that. That's genuine, it's honest. I've always felt.
Thank you.
And it's nice. It's nice that way.
It's just doing one dang thing after another that I have to sing.
I tell you. You guys are the best. This was really fantastic. DC, where can people find out more about what's going on with your website, things of that nature as well?
DCAnderson.net, DCAnderson.net. And do you have a website?
I do not.
We got to get you a website.
Got to get him a website. That's right.
DCAnderson.net, and then Instagram at DC Anderson. I've got like 3 or 4 Instagram things.
Do
DC
you really?
Photography, DC Anderson singer songwriter, DC Anderson actor. And I was saying to myself,
Google DC Anderson, and all of this the whole world will be, at your fingertips.
So I said to my sister, now that I'm like older, I'm just like not into this publicity thing. She goes, "You've got 17 websites, 16, Instagram pages."
And you're the one saying you're not into the whole publicity thing.
I'm kind of into it still. I'm like, okay, I am.
That's it. That's
I like to
funny.
spread the word.
Well, you guys are amazing. Truly, I hope you enjoy the time on the show as much as I certainly have.
Thank you. We have had. I've had a ball. How about you? Have you had a ball?
I had a great time.
We've had a great time. Thank you.
We will keep the porch light on for you. Continued success in everything you're doing. And really, thanks for sharing all the wit and wisdom and joy and musicality and everything with us here on the show. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And we'll keep that porch light on for you. You're welcome back anytime. And spread the word about our show as well. We would love that. It takes a village.
Yes, it does.
And this was really, really terrific. I wish you nothing but continued success and joy in everything you're doing, because you're bringing so much joy to everybody else, and have for so many years individually and with the work collectively as well. So this was a true treasure of a broadcast.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. What are you going to do next? Have a sandwich?
Yes, actually. How about a sandwich?
This is a foodie crowd, so they always like to know about food. The foodie crowd we have watching from around the world are Lovities. The Lovities have enjoyed themselves. They're always enjoying and commenting. We appreciate all their comments and everything that's being said along the way as well. And you can never have enough Lovity, right?
No, you can't. You cannot have enough.
Well, they've already designated that you're now part of the Lovity squad. So you are part of the Lovity family, the two of you, huh? You worked all these years and all these awards, all these things to become a Jim Master Show Lovity. How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel good. How about you? You're now a Lovity.
Oh, okay, great.
We bring some
I love it. He went right to the heart when he said that. He went right to the heart. That's cool. DC Anderson, David Robison, thank you very much for joining us here on the show. Really an honor and a pleasure. And we will see you guys again soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You take care. Be well now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. An incredible broadcast, lots of levity, lots of humor, lots of good times, lots of great music, incredible stories too. Did you guys enjoy some of the stories that David and DC shared with us behind the scenes of the Phantom of the Opera and a lot of other productions as well? As I mentioned, DC, a well-known Broadway, off-Broadway actor, television and film actor. He's been in some of the greatest productions. David as well, many years, the Phantom of the Opera, brilliant pianist and musician and so much more. And they have their own, individual careers that are extremely successful and buoyant. But they've worked on some projects where they are a wonderful collaboration and duo, which I think is really, really cool and really special. And you can see that they have this rapport. They really play off each other so beautifully and effortlessly and automatically. And that there's nothing better than that sometimes in life, right? When sort of that yin and yang, that just, finishing each other's sentences and just getting it done with humor and with great care. I think that's terrific. And that's what you saw evidenced on this episode of the Jim Masters Show with George Burns here and everybody else. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up like. There's an icon right there on our YouTube channel. And it helps us out when you press it. It looks like a little thumb. And when you press that, it's giving a like to this episode. And also leave a comment. If you have any questions, you have comments, you just want to say hello, want to tell us why you love this episode and all the episodes, make sure you leave a comment under the episode as well. Thanks for all the activity in chat as well, gang. You guys are the best. Everybody chats with each other. We appreciate everybody and all your fabulous comments. Our Lovity Squad, we love you all. And if you're watching for the very first time, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series. We don't call this an interview show. We call it really a talk show with little panache in there and old school qualities with a modern vibe, modern twist of today. And you're all welcome to join us when we're on just about 7 days a week. We have surpassed 650 episodes in just 2 years' time. That takes television shows almost 10 years to get to 600 episodes in 2 years, because the end of April is our 2-year anniversary of Constant Levity and all these great shows, these epic broadcasts. 2 years, 650 plus episodes. And you can binge watch them all. That's right. You can see them all right here on the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We would love that. See that red rectangular button and that arrow pointing? Look what happens. Turns gray, and you are part of the JMS Levity family. And there's no cost when you subscribe. You're subscribing just to the YouTube channel, which houses all these great episodes of our series. Thanks, gang. We're going to scoot out. We have more great guests coming up, extraordinary guests. If you haven't seen our show recently, check out the guests that are coming up on Monday. Legendary jazz trumpeter. Yes, he has worked with them all. Quincy Jones, Frank Sinatra, Arturo Sandoval. He's worked with them all. He's been in the Woody Herman orchestra and band. I mean, he's prolific. He's incredible. He's extraordinary, and he's a super talent. Legendary jazz trumpeter Roger Ingram is joining us on Monday. Isn't that incredible? And if you didn't see the episode with Carrie Genzel on, she was on the show, an actress from The Walking Dead, All My Children, Supernatural. Yeah. And how about this episode? Did you catch this one? Yeah, this one was another fantastic one the other night. Stars of the off-Broadway hit Romeo and Bernadette, which is a comedic take on Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Nikita Burstein and Anna. She was here as well with us as well. Both of them were here together. And that was really fantastic. That was a great episode. And Paul Green, of course, actor, musician from Hallmark Channel's When Calls the Heart, Dr. Carson Shepard. We had an epic conversation. He was very open. He was open about his life. He played on his guitar. He was really, really real and authentic. And it was a really cool episode when Paul Green was with us recently. If you didn't see that episode, it's on our YouTube channel. Check that out. Lacey Carpenter, award-winning musician, singer, songwriter, violinist, was with us recently. She's an amazing friend. That was a great episode. Justin Torkeldsen was with us, actor, producer, stars as he was Rick Forrester in The Bold and the Beautiful. He's starring in Studio City with Sean Kanan. Did you see when Cousins Gibb was here? Nick Endicott Gibb was here. He was doing a biological search for his father and found out Morris Gibb of the Bee Gees is his father. You know, Morris and Robin and Barry Gibb. Yeah, Barry and Robin would be his uncles. And Morris, his father. It's a riveting episode available on our YouTube channel. Check that out. Judy Norton stopped by from the Waltons. Did you see that episode? Or Scott Dreyer, voiceover artist, author, actor, singer, head of the Doris Day Project, and even voices on Sonic the Hedgehog and so much more. Lawrence Juber from Paul McCartney's Wings originally, Grammy-winning guitarist who was with us, and so many more. Marion Ross from Happy Days. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. That's just a few of the fantastic folks that have graced our presence here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We really enjoyed this episode. Broadway TV film actor, singer, songwriter DC Anderson, and joining him, which was a nice surprise, David Robison joined him as well. Brilliant pianist. Again, many years with the Phantom of the Opera and so much more. He was with us as well. And the main thing is that you were with us, and we really appreciate it, gang. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know. Spread the sunshine. Tell everybody. Share the links and everything else. And also give this episode a thumbs up on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment for us as well. All right, gang, we love you all. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the activity. We really appreciate having you here. It's always a blessing when you guys tune in to watch and enjoy the Jim Masters Show. This is your host, Jim Masters. We don't say goodbye here. We say see you later. We say ciao, slancha, avida zain, mazel tov, shalom, sayonara, hasta la vista, moi loop, slancha, ciao, and all the rest. But we never say goodbye because we'll be here. We'll be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Roger Ingram's going to be with us. That's going to be amazing. Legendary jazz trumpeter and so much more. Wait to hear the people he's performed with. I mentioned just a few of them: Sinatra, Quincy Jones, Arturo Sandoval, and Tom Jones. I mean, it goes on and on and on. He's incredible. He's here on our next episode. If you're not watching live, you're watching this later in the archives, we welcome you as well. It's always good when you're here. Stay tuned. Stay on our channel. There's 650 episodes you can watch and binge. Another episode comes up right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Thanks for watching this episode of the Jim Masters Show. Be well. Take care of one another. Love one another. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. And we'll see you again on the next one. This is Jim Masters. Thanks for being with us. Take care. Be well. And cheers.